All right, y'all. I did it. I did it. I went to Costco and I picked up the trash can candle. Here it is, y'all. Look at how huge this thing is. My goodness. I'm Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel, and today I have for you a cold impression lit review of the candles that are currently available at Costco by Mayfield Candle Company. Now, this is a new retailer to me. I have never bought Mayfield. I heard about this candle, I want to say it was last year. I was kind of just getting into candles. I follow the Costco subreddit, and one of the users posted a picture of the candle and made a joke about, like, who in the world needs a candle the size of a trash can? I guess his wife wanted it or something. And people were commenting and like, oh my gosh, I gotta get to Costco. And then he went back like a day later and he was like, just kidding, they're sold out. And he took a picture of like the empty, tray or whatever, that those pallet that they were on. So these are widely popular. I feel like they come out once in a while. And even when I saw the trash can candle, I was like, I need one. But then by the time I got to my Costco, they had sold out. And then one of y'all mentioned it in my video a couple of weeks ago, and then Marie over at Meet Miss Marie posted a picture on her Instagram, and she was kind of on the fence about getting one. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to check my Costco because I wanted one last year, didn't get one. Now I have a candle channel. I feel like I need this candle. I can use my channel to enable my bad candle purchasing habits. So I went to my Costco. They did still have all 4 fragrances. So I picked up the grapefruit sandalwood because that was the one that I liked the best. And I also felt like the hubs would like this one. I did go through the trouble of opening all the boxes in the store and sniffing each one to figure out which one I thought I would like best. I liked 2 of them. I liked this one, and I also liked the Linen Breeze. It's just kind of a classic laundry fragrance, but knew the hubs would prefer the grapefruit, so I picked that one up. There's also a teal one that's called Ocean and Vetiver. It wasn't my thing. And then there is one that comes in black that's called Midnight Mush. I didn't like the smell of those. Either of those. They were very, I don't know how to explain. It was like oddly like creamy and masculine at the same time. Not my thing. And normally I like those fragrances, but there's something not quite right about the way they were playing together. So I did pick up the grapefruit sandalwood. I also like the hobnob style of this jar. So I'm going to share with you more information about the candle. I'll pull it out of here and try not to break it. Talk about the scent notes that I'm sniffing. Then I'm going to take a cut in the video. I'm going to spend some time with this and burn it, get some footage of it, and let y'all know what I think of it. This thing is very heavy. Actually, does this have the weight on the box? I'm curious how heavy this thing is. So the candle is 135 ounces. That's almost 10 pounds. That's a lot. Let's see if I can grab it out of here. I feel like I'm grabbing like a giant watermelon out of a box. So it comes in this really nice decorative glass jar. This isn't really, I guess it's not hobnob. It looks a lot like my tattoo. It's squares, it's cubes, but it gives the impression of hobnob because it's 3D. So it's comparable. I mean, it literally looks just like my tattoo. It's squares and then it kind of pops and you can't really tell where one square ends and another square begins. I also really like the color of this. It speaks to me in terms of it being a grapefruit fragrance. And then you have some white wax. It's a little card here. Yeah, that's just instructions telling you to remove the paper before you light it. I hope people would know that, but I guess you have to have a disclaimer on everything these days. And then there are 5 very thin wicks, all kind of centered in the middle. I'm a little bit worried about how close together they all are. Don't know what that means for the edge of the wax, but 5 wicks in there, thin wicks, probably going to get a little bit curly. I'm going to give it a try and see. I think given the shape of the vessel, this reminds me a lot of the shape of the Nest candles. I think the first few burns are really going to take some time to get this to a full pool. And then once it starts to get down lower, I think it'll burn better. One, because the flame will be insulated from drafts because of the vessel. but 2, the wax pool won't require as full of a burn to get to the edge of the glass jar. So if I had to guess, I'm going to predict this will struggle in the beginning, pick up mid-speed, and then by the end it will be a very hot burn. I don't know that I want to get to the end of this candle before I finish my review because y'all, right now it is May 23rd that I'm recording this, and I think if I were to wait until I got to the end of this to report back to you, it might be August. Which by then defeats the purpose of me sharing it with you because these would definitely be sold out by August. So I'm gonna just rip through this for a couple of days, maybe up to like a week, and just burn it consistently just so I can really get through some of it and have a true sense of how this does, how it performs, how it throws, what the strength is, and then I'll report back to you. I really like this jar. Okay, let me see if there's something on here about the number of hours this is supposed to last. It does say it's a soy blend, so it's not going to be 100% soy, which I'm okay with. Honestly, for the price of this candle, it's fine. It can have some paraffin or some other sort of wax in here. Yeah, it doesn't say on here what the total burn time is. It does have a note that says that the first time you burn it, expect to leave it lit for 4 hours. So I think they're aware that it takes a long time to cool. Now, the scent notes on this are zesty grapefruit, vibrant passion fruit, and cedarwood. So why they call it grapefruit sandalwood, I don't know. Is sandalwood a type of cedarwood? Yeah, no, I looked it up. Sandalwood is not cedarwood. They can be found in the same forest together, but it's not the same. So I don't know why they called this grapefruit sandalwood. And I don't know if it's just messing with my head. Like, it is sandalwood, right? Yeah, it says grapefruit sandalwood. I don't know why they're calling it sandalwood if it's a cedar note. But to be fair, this doesn't smell like a cedar candle to me. This smells like a sandalwood candle to me. So maybe that's just like, I don't know. It's a Costco product. Maybe, you know, they don't really have a full sense of what they're doing, the company who made it. But to me, this smells like a delicious grapefruit candle. Sometimes grapefruit can be very sharp and read a little bit urine-y if there's too much to it. This with that sandalwood, it smells like sandalwood to me, so that's what I'm going to call it. The sandalwood note that's in here helps to just bring it down in terms of the brightness, well rounds it, makes it a much more comforting grapefruit fragrance. You get a sense of a base note that's just kind of warm and cozy with a really nice citrus. I mean, I think you could convince me that there's a passion fruit note in here, but to me, this just reads like grapefruit. And I don't even feel like I need to stick my face in it because I can smell it just sitting here holding it. You can smell it as soon as you open the box. So it's got good scent, good fragrance on cold. Don't know how that will translate to warm, but I'm going to go light this up, spend some time with it, and I will be right back after the cut to let you know what I think of it. Okay, y'all, I am back after having burned through about half of this big boy. I think it's about half, given the way the jar is shaped, not quite halfway down in terms of halfway down the jar, but given that the top is flared, I think I'm about halfway through, and I definitely have some stuff to report about this big boy. Number 1, the first burn, I think the box said something about like 4 hours. That is all lies. First burn took 8 or 10 hours to come to full pool. I felt like a prisoner in my home. I couldn't leave because, in case you don't know, wax can have like a memory, and if you don't let it go all the way to the edge, you end up creating like a new barrier the next time you burn, and then you'll get really bad tunneling. So I let it go until it got all the way to the edge, but it felt like it took forever for the first burn. And I would say each consecutive burn after that has gotten increasingly shorter, but I'm still looking at, even where I am now, easily 3 or 4 hours to get it to full wax pool. So this is something you'd want to burn only if you're going to be around for a very long period of time and you are feeling like you're going to be attached to your house for the day, because otherwise you're going to be burning it out way too soon. It's going to have serious tunneling issues. And even then, let me show you, hopefully you can pick this up in the camera. Over here on my right, you'll notice there is some tunneling edge there that has developed. I am now on 2 burns where that will not disappear. And that is also because the wicks have become off-centered. So if you can see there, they're all wonky. This used to look like, when it was further up, it looked like the 5 on a die. Perfectly centered, each one equal distance from the edge and from each other. And now it seems like the wicks have all traveled to that side where the full pool has occurred, and where the residue is over there on the side, the wicks aren't reaching it like it should be. So having some wick pooling issue. I'll also note that there is quite a bit of wick residue building in the pool. You'll notice it's kind of black and gray. That's just where I've had some blowout from the wicks. I think those are all fibers, a little bit of sooting. And speaking of sooting, that's the other issue I'm having with this big boy, is that it won't be at the full wax pool, but the wicks will be too long and they're starting to soot. And when you have 5 wicks in a single candle that are too long and sooting, you're going to get a lot of soot in your place. So I've kept an eye on it. I've literally burned them out, trimmed them, and then relit them, trying to get to the full wax pool. That's just babysitting I don't really want to do on a candle, especially one of this size. So in general, it has not been smooth sailing with this candle. The burn quality leaves a lot to be desired. I will also say that in terms of strength and throw, I would expect with a candle this large with 5 wicks that it would fill my open concept space. It does not. I can barely smell this candle if I'm in the space where it is. So I have limited options of where to burn this because of my cats. I think this would make it an excellent like hearth candle, like put it in front of my fireplace here and burn it, but my cats will literally walk into it. My one cat has no concept of flame whatsoever, and unless it's away, tucked away where he can't get it, he will just jump on it or sniff it or put his face in it. So I put this only on my dining table, but it only really radiates in that little tiny space, which is just a third of my open concept area. Again, I would expect more from something this large. And so then in my head, I'm left wondering, what is the point? Like, what is the purpose of this candle if it doesn't have good strength or throw and it has burn quality issues? And for me, I think the only thing left is that it's fun. It's a novelty candle. And also, I'll share this burn footage here. It's beautiful when it's lit. It looks like the flames are massive in this video. They're actually not that large, but with the shape of the glass vessel and the way it has the squares, this kind of geometric shape to it, it makes it so that it radiates and illuminates really nicely within the jar. So it's absolutely gorgeous. It is an amazing conversation piece. I've had a couple of guests over since I bought this and they're like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's a Costco candle. And you know, it's like, oh, well, of course it's Costco. Like, look at how big it is. So it's been fun in that regard, but that novelty has worn off very quickly for me. So it's fun, but I don't think it's been worth the hassle. This would definitely not be a repurchase for me. It's not a recommendation for you unless you want to experience the joy of just having a massive candle in your house, which was fun for the first 2 days. And now I'm just kind of like, oh, better light that because I want it gone. So I would not rebuy this. I'm happy I did. It helped to eliminate some of the FOMO, and it's been an experience that I can value and appreciate. But just know, if you've had FOMO, you haven't picked one up at Costco yet, or if they're sold out at your Costco, which is likely, just know you're okay. You didn't miss much. It's a pretty jar. You know, it's fun, but in general, it's not worth the strength, throw, wick issues, or time commitment that this candle requires. If you have any questions, feel free to put them below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you've tried one of these giant Costco candles and you have anything you'd like to share, I'd love to see that in the comments as well. That always helps my viewers gain greater perspective and more insight. Even if you contradict something I've said, I always appreciate that. If you appreciated this review, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.